So the idea here is that you take a statement from an insurer, feed it into the Relay 360 application. It does automatic matching for you. You adjust any transactions you need to adjust, and when you're finished, the completed statement is sent back to the insurer. So you're avoiding the double jobbing here. Now, in this first example, I have a premium, 1,000 of a gross, 900 commission, 900 net, should I say, and 100 commission, and it's not paid. Now, I'm going to go into my list of insurance companies, find Zurich for this example, and add the facility for AutoRec if you don't already have this switched on. So into the AutoRec tab, tick both boxes, the XLS import, you're going to feed in a spreadsheet here, and that's it set up. So if we go to our statement that we've received from Zurich, you see we've one transaction here for John Giles. There's my policy number, premium of 1,000, commissions 100, and net amount owing is 900. You'd all be familiar with this particular statement. Obviously, we have the AutoRec option available for a number of insurers, but we're going to use Zurich as our example. So into the transactions menu, auto company reconciliation, you pick your insurer, and click the auto reconcile button, then apply credit terms should you wish. Find the location of the insurer's statement that you've downloaded or you've been emailed. Runs through the matching process, and I get the auto reconcile screen show up with my several tabs. Now in this case, the premium has not been paid, so it showed up in the matched unpaid tab. Now I can pay it from here should I still wish to, even though it hasn't been paid to me by the client. Now let's take a look where the insurer has sent two transactions, so my 1,200 and my minus 200 of a credit, associated to one transaction on your system. Let's see how that works together. So I launch up again into my transactions menu, auto company rec, pick my insurer, auto reconcile, and what it should do is match up these two transactions to your one transaction. And so if we go back into matched unpaid, you can see the number 2, where more than one insurer premium has been matched to your premium. The transaction color shows as blue, and in the breakdown button, you get to see the list of the two premiums from the insurer matching to your one premium. So now that we've covered transactions that haven't been paid by the client, those moving into the matched unpaid tab, let's go in and take a payment for this transaction, allocate that payment against it, and then we go back into our AutoRec screen, load up the rec and see which tab the transaction shows in now. So again, pick your insurer, auto reconcile, yes or no to your credit terms, find the location of the statement, and that transaction, again showing two insurer transactions, has moved into the auto reconcile tab. We've got a link here to the transactions menu that you would have in the Relay 360 client, also the client notes and the policy details. So just helpful buttons there to be able to refer back to any details you need to. And again, there's our breakdown showing the two insurer transactions. Next, let's NTU this policy. So here we raise the not taken up premium, fill in our details. And we've now raised the credit for this. So here the purpose of NTUing the policy is to point out the process around AutoRec and that it's not simply just loading up this screen, that you need to do a little preparation before you go into your AutoRec screen. So we're doing our refund, allocate that against your NTU premium, your credit. And now I have a new business and a new business not taken up, both allocated. So if we load up the AutoRec screen now at this stage, again, picking our insurer, auto reconcile, no to our credit terms, find the insurer statement. And this time I have my transaction showing as auto reconciled, so it's marked ready to be paid to the insurer. But there's nothing here indicating that I have an NTU policy, other than the transaction will show in red. And something that shows in red in your auto reconcile tab would point out that there is another transaction unreconciled for this insurer. So in this case, the NTU premium. So I don't want to pay this. The option may be to remove the invite, maybe just add a comment in here. Or what I should have done in the first place is if I cancel out of this screen, I'm going to go back into my normal company rec screen and do a bit of housekeeping before I start the auto-rec. So here I want to clear off any contra entries. I want to clear off any debits and credits that reverse each other out here. So my new business and my new business not taken up. So if I reconcile each of these, and then commit as normal, I have nothing to pay the insurer in this case, I'm only clearing off a credit against a debit. These are now showing as reconciled, and the auto-rec is now going to treat this differently. So if we load up the screen again, into our transactions, let's take a look at the breakdown of the new business and new business NTU premiums. We can see here that the reconciled amounts, so they've both been reconciled, both transactions, neither are now outstanding. I go into my auto reconcile screen. Again, the insurer statement, and this time the transactions from the insurer are showing in the matched unconfirmed. Now this is where there was no premium, there's no transaction on your side of things. On the broker system, there's no transaction within Relay 360 to match up to the transaction from the insurer. So what it's done is matched the policy itself and brought back the status of that policy. In this case, new business not taken up, maybe lapsed, maybe renewal offered, maybe lapsed for transfer, cancelled midterm, whatever the transaction is. From here, from any of these tabs, you can click the export button, and that will export each of the tabs out. Next, let's take a look at a matching transaction where the commission, the net and commission, is slightly out. Now you have a tolerance built into Relay, 10 cent into the auto reconcile screen as default, where if there's a difference of up to 10 cent with the transaction, then it's fine, it'll match. If it's over the 10 cent, like you see in this case, you see your broker amounts, the gross matches, it's 1,000 versus 1,000, broker versus insurer, but there's more than 10 cent of a difference. So am I going to say that the insurer is correct here and I'm paying them what they're looking for? Am I saying that I'm correct? And if so, I have to put in a reason as to why I'm choosing my amount versus the insurer's amount. And this comment gets sent back to the insurer within the reconcile statement. And that's showing ticked, so it's showing as processed. Now I can save my work, so if I continue, click save. So I can save this, come back to it on Monday, come back to it in a couple of weeks. Next, let's take a look at a provisional renewal premium. So provisional, by its very definition, doesn't show as an insurer transaction until said premium is confirmed. So let's launch up our auto-rec screen. Again, note to apply credit terms. Find our statement. So we take a look at the matched unconfirmed tab, and just like the NTU's premium earlier on, we can see that renewal offered, that the status is showing it. Next, let's take a look at this renewal that's now confirmed. I want to point out the gross discrepancy, so where you've got a difference between the insurer and your gross premium. So our gross discrepancy tab shows our transaction. At the details, again, the insurer and your data shown side by side, the INS indicating any insurer values. Our type is a confirmed renewal. If I tick the box, very similar to the net commission discrepancy, I can see that our total is 500, whereas the insurer's total is 600. So a couple of options here. You can say that they're correct, that you are correct, that the broker value is what's correct here, noting that they haven't applied the renewal discount or whatever the reason might be. So in this case, I'm paying the insurer, but I'm paying them my amount. Alternatively, you could choose not to pay this and just send a comment to the insurer to say, can you correct it for next month's statement? So this transaction won't be settled. It will just be a comment sent back to the insurer, like you were typing it into the comment field of the Zurich spreadsheet yourself. And finally, let's commit the work that we've done. So click the commit button. You see the transactions that are settled here, the amount to pay the insurer. Commit, and the only change between this and a normal company rec screen is that you're prompted to put in your name. So that's sent to Zurich in this case. Again, same renewal report, remittance advice prompts. And that's it. Those transactions are now reconciled. So if I'm looking for that statement, it's in my sent items. So from the machine that I've committed the autorec from. Otherwise, I'm going into the R drive, into the relay folder, then the data folder. In there, documents and company one. Any brokers with multi-company will let's go to company 1, 2, 3, or 4. I have an XLS folder, and in there Zurich and PREV previous, and there's my reconcile statement. And so we'll see the one transaction I'm paying and the one comment that I made. So net pay for Zurich statement. I'm not paying the second one, but I have put in a comment to send it correctly next month.